Thinking about migrating to Australia through Queensland's 190 or 491 visa? Don't blink, major changes have just dropped. Reduced quotas, tighter deadlines, and new rules could make or break your chances. In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know to avoid missing out, and how to move fast while the door is still open. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're planning to move to Australia through Queensland's 190 or 491 visa, this is a video you don't want to miss. Major updates have just been released, including reduced quotas, new nomination rules, and important deadlines that could affect your application. I'll break down everything you need to know step by step. So make sure to watch to the end, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you have any questions or want to share your experience. Let's start with the basics. The 190 visa is a permanent skilled visa that requires a state nomination, while the 491 is a provisional visa for regional work and residence, valid for 5 years with a pathway to permanent residency after meeting specific criteria. Queensland, through Migration Queensland, plays a big role by nominating candidates under these visas, but the policies, requirements, and quotas change from year to year. For the 2024-25 program year, the federal government increased overall state nomination allocations, but Queensland's share was cut. The 190 allocation for Queensland dropped from 900 to 600 places, and the 491 was also cut from 650 to 600. Despite the national increase, this reduction makes Queensland more competitive. What's more, Migration Queensland was only given an interim allocation of 250 places to start with and is expected to receive more later in September. So the early nomination rounds are limited. If you plan to apply, you'll need to act quickly once spots are released. One big change is that all applicants for 2025-26 must submit a new registration of interest, or ROI. If your existing ROI is older than 715 days, it will no longer be valid. Make sure yours is up to date before the program opens. Now, for those eyeing the 491 Small Business Owner pathway, note this. From 19 September 2025, new businesses will no longer be eligible under this stream. That means if you plan to start or purchase a business to qualify, you must do so before this deadline. Existing businesses may still be considered, but new ones started after that date won't. In other updates, the work experience and job requirements have been relaxed slightly. For onshore applicants, the continuous employment requirement has been removed in some cases, and minimum work hours have been reduced, now as low as 20 hours per week. Casual work is also accepted under certain conditions. That's a major shift from older rules where full-time employment was often required. For offshore applicants, the settlement funds requirement has been removed in some streams. This makes the process a bit more accessible, especially for skilled workers who meet all other criteria but previously struggled to demonstrate financial assets. Migration Queensland has 5 main nomination pathways. The first is for skilled workers already living in Queensland. The second is for offshore applicants. The third targets workers in building and construction. The fourth is for Queensland University graduates, and the fifth is the small business owner stream for regional applicants. Keep in mind, as mentioned, that the business owner stream will close to new businesses from September next year. If you're wondering what eligibility looks like, here's the summary. At the federal level, you must meet the Home Affairs minimum criteria, at least 65 points on the Skilled Migration Points test, a valid skills assessment in your nominated occupation, be under 45 years of age, meet the English language requirement, and pass health and character checks. On the state level, Queensland has its own filters. Your occupation must be on the current Migration Queensland list, which changes from time to time based on economic needs. You need to align your ROI with these lists and ensure you meet any occupation-specific requirements. If you studied in Queensland, the graduate pathway is available, but it's more accessible for higher degree holders. For instance, master's and PhD graduates have had more options and sometimes don't need a job offer. Bachelor-level graduates typically must be working full-time in a regional area and in their nominated or closely related occupation. There are also upcoming changes to English language requirements. From 7 August 2025, new minimum scores will apply to all accepted English tests like IELTS, PTE, and TOEFL. If your test is taken before that date, the current rules apply. If taken on or after, you'll need to meet the updated scores. So timing your test properly could make or break your eligibility. Let's talk about what actually happened with last year's quotas. In the 2024-25 cycle, Queensland had 600 places for both 190 and 491. By May 2025, it had already used 546 places for the 190 visa and 489 for the 491. That left only 54 places for 190 and 111 for 491. And shortly after, Migration Queensland confirmed that the 190 quota was effectively closed. Only 491 applications were being processed. This shows how quickly quotas fill and how critical timing is. Missing the window can mean waiting another year or pivoting to another state or visa option. So, what can you do now to improve your chances? First, monitor announcements from Migration Queensland and act quickly when the 2025-26 program opens. Submit your ROI immediately if you're eligible, and make sure it's still within the 715-day validity period. Second, pick your pathway wisely. If you're a recent graduate from a Queensland university, you may be eligible under the graduate pathway. Check if your degree and field of study match current requirements. Third, aim to boost your points. Scoring just 65 might not be enough. Consider retaking your English test, adding partner points, or gaining more skilled work experience to push your points higher. Fourth, pay attention to your English test timing. If you're aiming to apply after August 2025, study for the updated standards. If you've already met the requirements under the current rules, don't delay. Lodge before the cutoff. Fifth, check that your occupation aligns with Queensland's priorities. Every state favors certain sectors, so staying within their high-demand industries gives you an edge. Sixth, if you're using the small business owner pathway, act before 19 September 2025. The cutoff is strict, so you must have purchased or started your business before then. If it's already running, double-check that you meet the revenue, profit, and operation period requirements. Seventh, maintain relevant employment. Even if full-time isn't mandatory anymore, having consistent work in your nominated or closely related occupation can only strengthen your case. Eighth, prepare for smaller rolling nomination rounds. Queensland has moved away from large batch rounds and is likely to run smaller, more frequent ones. Be ready to respond fast. Have your documents prepared, verified, and up to date. Ninth, explore alternative states or visa subclasses. If competition in Queensland becomes too intense or quotas close early, having a plan B is smart. Other states may have higher allocations or more favorable rules for your occupation. Lastly, if your case is complicated, for example, if you're self-employed, applying offshore, or using the business pathway, working with a registered migration agent can help avoid costly mistakes. To make this more practical, let's walk through a few examples. Imagine someone like Ara, an offshore engineering graduate with a master's from a Queensland university. She wants a 190 visa. Previously, she might not have needed a job offer, but now, with tighter quotas and increased competition, she'll need to maximize her points, ensure her English test is current, and act fast when ROI windows open. If the 190 is unavailable, she might have to accept a 491 nomination or look into other states. Now think of Zubair, who already works full-time in Queensland in a skilled occupation. Under the skilled worker living in Queensland pathway, he's well-placed. With recent relaxations around hours and casual work, he may now be eligible even if he doesn't have a continuous full-time contract. His focus should be to maintain employment, maximize points, and prepare documents early. And then there's Mina, a small business owner in regional Queensland. If she bought her business before 19 September 2025, she could still apply under the 491 Small Business Owner Stream. She needs to double-check her business registration date, ensure she meets all criteria, and prepare her ROI before the stream closes to new businesses. What are the risks? Quotas can fill up quickly. Many applicants miss out simply because they waited too long. Documents must be perfect. Missing evidence or submitting outdated forms can lead to rejection. English test changes may catch you off guard if you don't plan your timing well. And if you're relying on a single pathway that ends, like the business stream, you might lose your only route. Some applicants also underestimate processing times. After receiving a state nomination invitation, you usually have only 14 calendar days to upload your documents. If you're not ready, you could miss out. To manage these risks, plan ahead. Monitor announcements, prepare your documents early, and be flexible. Consider multiple pathways and keep your options open. Finally, how does Queensland compare to other states? Well, every state is facing similar pressures, limited quotas, high demand, and shifting rules. But some are prioritizing certain occupations or sectors more actively. While Queensland might be your top pick, exploring other state programs could give you better odds, especially if your occupation is in demand elsewhere. So in summary, Queensland's 190 and 491 programs are evolving. There are fewer places, stricter deadlines, some relaxed work rules, and changes in English testing coming soon. If you're serious about applying, preparation and timing are everything. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or if there's a specific visa topic or state you want me to cover next. Your support helps the channel grow and helps others get the right information at the right time. Take care and see you in the next video.